All right, next up, fluency. Fluency. Level 4, reading comprehension. Comprehension means that the child understands all of the explicit and implied ideas in a text and makes judgment about those ideas. Okay? The areas that we would like to concentrate on are fluency, automatic word recognition, vocabulary development, structural analysis using context, building background, and elaboration techniques, and comprehension levels. Here we go. Comprehension levels, critical for the RICA. Literal, which is the who, what, where, and when. Inferential, which is the how and why. And evaluative, which is making judgments about the text. Okay? And these are the areas of comprehension that are vital. Fluency, vocabulary development, and comprehension levels. All right? Starting with fluency. We talked about fluency. Fluency is easy peasy. It is the involvement of paying attention to accurate reading. Remember? Fluency, easy peasy. We just went over that. Okay? So, it's the first step in comprehension and must be fully in place before proceeding. Before you proceed to vocabulary development, you need to make sure that fluency is A-OK intact. All right? At this level, vocabulary must be understood at a much deeper level with specific strategies. Strategies that use word structure and sentence and paragraph context to convey meaning. Okay? We're not just in fluency, we're in the comprehension part of fluency, right? Next, after fluency comes vocabulary development. You need to know the 4 types of words kids encounter in learning upper elementary vocabulary. 4 kinds of words. Again, I keep showing you the 4. Okay. Number 1, words they know when reading and speaking. Number 2, words they know in reading but barely use in speaking, like aforementioned. 3, rare context-related words like sight. Context-related words like sight and sight. And 4, words never seen or used in speech. Okay? Vocabulary development. 4 kinds of words. Words they know when reading but barely use, rare context-related words, and words never seen or used in speech. All right? Let's see what's next. Okay. So, for vocabulary activities, we need to know that there are activities that you need to teach students to, activities you do with students that are done before reading, they activate prior knowledge, that you do while reading, and after reading. So there are all different types of activities that you can involve students in at all 3 stages of reading. Okay? Before reading activities, the teacher prep part of that is to give students 5 minutes to write down all the words related to a topic, for instance, ocean animals. Okay? They can write down everything they know because prior knowledge is key here. You want to activate their prior knowledge before you start reading. Okay? We do that all the time in my classroom. All right? So, then you write the responses on the board, then have them to extend the list. Okay? Through teacher modeling, introduce target vocabulary and concepts from the text to increase comprehension. So, they're giving you a list of words that they think are all that they think that encompasses ocean animals, right? And then you write those responses on the board, allow them to expand on them, because seeing other people's thoughts will, invoke them to think a little harder about things that they didn't think about on their own, right? Then you also introduce words that you know are a part of the text that they're going to encounter. If you do this in advance, it will make sure that they're more successful when they're reading. Okay? Then, successful as in comprehension. Got it? Then, guided practice. Have students group the words into categories. Right? So if you're doing ocean animals, maybe you're doing things like, whales or jellyfish type animals or fish that scale the ground, or however you want to, make those delineations between the different kinds of ocean animals, right? The students can do that. It's a guided practice. They can work with it, but you need to be observing and interacting with them, making sure they're on the right path. Okay? And then you can allow independent practice, right? Then you read the text. While reading the text, you check for comprehension of the words and passages via discussion. So, while you're reading, you're checking to make sure that they're having a clear understanding of what they're reading. You're not just letting them read it without, stopping and, making these checks. Okay? All right? You can make all different types of webs and things for association activities, trees and flow charts or whatnot. Okay, so like if you have tree and flowers, right, you can do a compare. They both need water, right? They have trunks. Trees have trunks, but flowers have stems. So you compare and contrast. You can do things like that with children. It helps to increase their comprehension. Right? Now you also need to make sure that they know. You've taught them in advance about word types. Homophones. Homophones like sight, and sight. Okay. Words that sound the same but are spelled differently. Homophones. Then you have homographs. Words that are spelled the same but have lead and lead, right? So homophones, spelled differently but sound the same. Homographs sound differently but are spelled the same. Okay? Then synonyms, all the different words that mean happy, joyful, cheerful. And then antonyms, of course, are the opposites. Happy is to sad, as calm is to stressed, right? Okay? You also want to teach them elaboration activities, such as these. See them? Elaboration activities. If I get my hands off them, maybe you can't see them, right? And what those are is activities that allow you to see, like in this example, shades of meaning, right? Shades of meaning, see? Characterizes a person's behavior. Disorganized, disheveled. Characterizes a person's appearance. Disheveled. So you can have them do things like that. Okay. And structural word analysis. That's important. It's an elaboration activity, but it's really important. Like the word we had, disestablishmentarianism, blah, blah, blah. See how it's broken up? And it tells you what each part of the word means. When you've pre-taught this in isolation, not during text, because then it just gets muddied in with comprehension. But when you've pre-taught or given them charts and things like that, spent time with them, they know that when they see anti, it means against. So even if they've never seen the word anti-disestablishmentarianism, you teach them what the base word is. The base word is establish, which means the state. Mint, state, it's a state of being. Arian, believers of. Ism, a philosophical position, right? Dis, the removal of. So that means that anti-disestablishmentarianism is opposed to the removal of the established state based on the beliefs of different people's philosophy, so to speak. Okay? Those are all things that you want to do before reading. Okay? Before reading activities. That's what all of that was before reading activities. Okay?